Alright, it's post-Hamfest now, and I think it's time to start looking at some of the things that I wanted to look at while I was here. Won't get to all of them, but I'll at least get to some of them. So we're going to do a computer build using this Sony Vaio case that really there's nothing special about. It just happens to be here, and I've been using it as a server for a while, or had been using it as a server because it's got 4 disk bays, but this case is fairly limiting, and it's also an odd size. So what we're going to do with this, here by the way is what's left of the model number sticker, is I'm going to put the original hardware back, at least some of the original hardware. Here's the original motherboard. If you can tell there, you can see iLink S400. I believe this has a Pentium D on it, yes. And it's really nothing but just a relabeled Intel desktop board. I don't even know if it's got Sony branding on it. It just happens to say iLink S400 on the back. So I'll put that in there. To give it a little bit of zip, I have this sitting around. I'll go ahead and I'll make use of that, just for really no other reason than I can. Focus. The case is missing 2 slot covers, and unfortunately the only 2 I was able to find that were sitting around were these ones, so they'll have to do for now. For a hard drive, it's going to have to be serial ATA, so I have a SATA cable there. And for the disk, I think what I want to do, I'm going to use this. Yes, really, it still works. It's got some bad sectors, but it still works. And this is an application where I don't care if the drive actually functions, so I'm going to use that. Because that's an okay disk to use in terms of capacity at 500 gigabytes. And then for a power supply, I'll go ahead and I'll throw this in there. It's not a great power supply, but it's what I've got laying around. I have another one sitting around somewhere that I could use. A Thermal Master. It's about the same capacity, but this one's a little bit nicer. It gives me the PCI Express power if I need it later on. And it does have a broken serial ATA power connector there, but I only need one of them for this build, so that should be good enough. I'm going to go ahead and install the board now. Okay, there's the board installed and cabled up and ready to go. Also installed the video card. This is a different video card. I was going to install this one, but then I found this one in a box. It's got a bigger fan on it that's probably a little bit less likely to be completely junk. And you can see I plugged in the optical drives, all the front panel stuff, including the 1394 header, which is this black cable here. So now I'm going to install the hard drive. Okay, hard drive is in. I'm probably going to have some clever clog ask me why I don't put an SSD in here, and you know, quite frankly, not everything needs an SSD, and the system is not really going to see a whole lot of use. It's going to get an operating system. I haven't decided which operating system it's going to get yet. It's going to be some flavor of Linux. So again, I'll probably have the folks that love Windows XP so much tell me that I should install Windows XP on it. I don't care. I've got enough Windows XP machines to last until the next millennium. So this is going to do something different. I haven't decided which flavor of Linux it's going to be yet, but I'll decide on that later, and then I'm going to, well, actually first I'll install the power supply, then I'll see if this thing actually works, then we'll install Linux on it. Okay, there it is with the power supply installed. That was a trick to do, because this is actually a bigger power supply than what this would have shipped with. But I got it in there, and I don't even think I managed to slide some metal inside the case that's ready to short something out. I'm going to find the side cover, and I'm going to put the side cover on this, because in recent times, I've had a bunch of power supplies explode, and I would really rather it not explode in my face when I go to plug this thing in. So I'm going to go find the side panel that belongs to this, and we'll see if it functions. Okay. It's original optical drives, by the way. Should be ready to go. Let's see if it goes bang. Well, fan's fired up. Oh, here it comes. Okay. Battery failure. Press F2 to run setup. Chassis fan is abnormal. Is it actually working? I don't know if it's actually working. But anyway, everything is installed that should be installed, so I'll have to get a battery for this. It's only got 3 gigs of RAM. Now, whatever. It should be fine for basically anything I'm going to do with it anyway. So I'll set this up to my liking, and then we'll go ahead and try and install an operating system. Okay. I'm going to try something here that I've tried on a couple of other occasions, but never really had much luck with. Yeah, this fan is completely toast. It's trying, but it's not going to work. Okay, I think I'm going to have to disable that fan monitor in order to get this thing to actually boot. I don't know if I can disable the fan monitor. Huh. See if we can get past it. That's just my washing machine. Really? Now this is getting kind of interesting and a little ridiculous. I guess I'm going to have to use a DVD. So, I have a DVD in there and I'm burning it. I'll come in here and take a look at that. And in theory, we can burn it. Apologies for the wind noise. Oh yeah. I don't know why that won't boot from USB. It's really kind of irritating. Okay, DVD is ready. The fans in this thing are making a lot of noise. See if this even works. Please boot. Really? I don't believe you. Okay, we actually got somewhere. Let's try running the graphical install. I guess maybe this optical drive just doesn't work. So I'll have to replace that. Let's see if this goes anywhere. Like I've said before, every time I try this, it doesn't actually seem to work. And, oh, here we go. So we'll just wait for about 200 years, and maybe it will actually start. Okay, I have a mouse, so that's good. So we'll let this do its thing here. This is basically a bog standard Debian install. The only difference is that this actually is Raspberry Pi desktop. So, something interesting to have on physical hardware, I suppose. Okay, remove the disk. I don't know why they get caught on that tray. So it'll run some stuff, in theory. And then hopefully we will be ready to go with this. Just have to install the updates and it'll be finished. Okay. This is promising so far. It'll be interesting to see what it does once it actually loads the video. It's a pretty old version, but this is the latest release that they've got. I did go ahead and hook up to the network. So in theory, if this boots, which it should, I'm definitely not used to it taking this long. But most of my experience with this has been through a virtual machine anyway, so it should be a lot faster. Hopefully it gives us a GUI. I have to think that this is a contemporary enough video card. Of course, I don't know what it actually is. Now, it's been several minutes now and it still hasn't moved. I'm starting to wonder about this. I could try removing the video card and see if that helps, but that's the only thing that I can think of to do. I was hoping to use the video card in this. Okay, I changed over to the integrated video, and we have a blank screen now. Hey, mouse cursor. Okay. So I'll have to go through all of this. Okay, let's try this NVIDIA card. See if it's any happier. The computer still posts, so that's a good sign. This is the way that I have to do this for now until I replace that case fan. Well, this is different. It's in low res. That's a GeForce 310. I'm not actually sure what this is. I think it's a little bit newer than a GeForce 310. Might actually be like a 210, or sorry, older. It might be like a 210 or something. OHGA3 revision 1? No idea. I'll have to look it up and see what I end up with. So let's see if it likes this one anymore. Oh, there we go. So I should have used that video card in the first place, it looks like. There it is. Raspberry Pi desktop. On a PC. Pretty interesting. I'm going to make the mistake of running through the updates here. Hopefully that doesn't take 300 years. Okay, as it turns out, that process is going to take entirely too long, so I'm going to conclude this video. So I got an optical drive to replace, and a fan to replace, but other than that, everything is working. Just as it should. So I'd like to thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below.